I'm Colin, and I'm here at the Sunday Fun Day markets at Tonsley in South Australia, and we're here to see the incredible Bubsie, a little car that 100 years ago travelled around Australia with two people who had a particular mission. And we're here today to meet Kevin. How are you, Kevin?
Welcome. Good to
meet you.
Thank you.
Now, you've brought this lovely little car to Adelaide. What's the reason for this trip?
100 years ago, a car identical to this travelled from Perth right round Australia for the first time. And you look at this car and you go, amazing that a vehicle like this could even drive right round Australia.
Well, talking about this type of vehicle, now it's a CITROEN.
It's a CITROEN
5CV,
which means 850cc, 5 horsepower with a top speed of 40 kilometres an hour.
Just the numbers there was 5 horsepower.
5 horsepower. Your lawnmower at home is probably more powerful than this car.
I think you're right. I'm pretty sure when I rode my push bike, I probably produced about 5 horsepower. That's amazing. And so this little car started in Perth?
Started in Perth, and the idea was, if at all possible, to get to Darwin.
Wow.
Now, the reason why, if possible, because from about Broome onwards, there were no roads. They were literally bush bashing. And this is one of the reasons why Neville and Greg chose to use this car, because it's got a good ground clearance.
Yes, it has actually. Very high off the ground.
And also it's quite light. It's only 500 kilograms.
Oh, wow.
So if they went down into a river, which they did on several occasions, they were able to block and tackle and pull it back up the riverbank on the other side.
My understanding is that one of the legendary stories with this car is that a group of local Indigenous Aboriginal people carried it across a river.
And we actually have that photograph in the book here, where the car got stuck in the sand in the middle of the Fitzroy River, and he had to call on the local Aboriginal community to pull it out for him.
Wow. Now we're looking at this car, and obviously it has things we recognise like from today, like seats and a steering wheel.
Yeah.
But it's pretty basic, isn't it? There's nothing else.
You can see the engine, and inside the cabin here, and if you would like to get in climb in behind the wheel.
Oh, okay.
Head first. There's no dignified way of getting into this car.
No, there isn't. Okay.
So let me just crawl in here.
Are we both going to fit in here?
Yep.
Okay.
So these are two guys.
We're both inside this car. It reminds me a little bit of getting into a tin of baked beans.
Okay, so what we have here is very basic. You have the gear stick and the handbrake. Down on the floor you have the clutch, accelerator, and then the brake.
The brake's on the wrong side.
The brake's on the other side.
There's a trap for young players. The brake is where your accelerator normally is. That'd be interesting.
No power steering.
No.
Manual choke.
Yes.
And a stopper button. Now,
most people wouldn't even know what a choke is today. Everything's automatic on new cars.
So that's the basic machine. Now, if it happens to rain, you can work the windscreen wipers, but you do...
Oh, it's manual.
You have to drive it by hand yourself.
Oh, that's quaint.
You would say to the passenger, please turn on the windscreen wipers.
And they have to reach across.
And
this is the button for the horn?
That is the horn.
So does it work?
Yep.
Oh, we have a horn. Okay, that's amazing. Yeah. So we have 2 levers here on the floor.
Okay, the brake on the floor.
Yes.
Brakes around the drive shaft, and the handbrake here is onto the rear drums. There are no brakes on the front.
Wow.
But it doesn't really matter because you're not driving particularly fast.
What you said, 40 kilometres an hour, was it?
Yeah, 40 kilometres an hour.
Now, understandably, for those of us who are used to modern vehicles, the whole ergonomic setup here is completely different to what you would expect normally.
Okay, we have a speedo.
Yes, speedometer.
We have an amp meter which says you got your foot on the brake, and here we have the temperature gauge.
and they sat in this car for 17,000
kilometres, 5 months travelling.
5 months. Okay. Can I get out this side?
No, you cannot get
can't
out
get
that
outside?
side because the door does not open. There's not enough space between there and there,
Oh,
and the
right, and the
spare
tyre.
wheel blocks it.
Well, let's climb out.
Blocks it as well. All right, hang on.
This is a challenge.
It is a challenge. Now, as they travelled with their luggage, you'll notice on the picture here they had their bedrolls in canvas bags, and the bedroll was then over the front mudguards, and then he carried extra water here on the running board.
Yep.
And at one point he actually came across on the Nullarbor a guy and two ladies broken down, and he was able to use some of his water to get them rehydrated because they were in a bad way.
And we have a boot here, don't we?
We have a boot at the back.
Almost like a boat.
It's a
called
boat
a boat
tail.
tail.
Yeah. And in here they were able to keep their personal effects. So very basic, but that is Bubsie, which means my little baby.
My little baby.
And it got them right round Australia 100 years ago.
What strikes me about this is what would be required from these folks to sit in this car and take that kind of journey. Today we have, the late model Toyota four-wheel drives and
yeah.
whatever. And these days, it's luxury. But
Yeah,
these people were incredible pioneers.
There's no four-wheel drive, there's no winch. He had to carry 3 spare tyres
3, yep.
because the rough terrain punctured them all.
Now, I actually heard some of the stories that they actually packed the tyres with grass and even a dead snake. As the legend goes.
That's a legend, but they definitely tried a cowhide.
A cowhide in there.
And it cooked and smelt and disintegrated. So
Wow.
that didn't work either.
Now, what drove these men? What was it that drove them to do this?
Okay, their initial mission was to get to Darwin, and they were selling a Christian book called Our Day.
Right, okay.
And so that was what they generated their income from. Then they bought the petrol off the farmers, and the farmers gave them hospitality and beds. And
Now, I've driven from Adelaide to Darwin many times.
Sure.
And even today, I plan my fuel stops based on the fuel stations.
Yes.
Now, you're telling me they had to find a farmer who had petrol so they could even keep going.
yeah, and on 2 occasions they got to the next homestead, and he said, "Sorry, I only have horses. I don't have any petrol."
So what did they do?
They borrowed 2 horses, rode them overnight 64 kilometres to the next farmer, bought fuel, then drove back with the fuel in the little cans, filled it up, and then returned the horses, and then drove back again to buy some more.
Now, you're not having to do that this trip, are you?
No, sir.
No, that's right. And so, really, this is an incredible testament to the endurance of this lovely little car.
And the fortitude of 2 guys who said, "Let's keep going," when things got really rugged.
That's an amazing lesson for everybody today, isn't
Yes,
it?
yeah.
And it's even got a hand starter.
Yeah, I've used that on many occasions, as they had to as well.
Well, folks, you will probably never in your life drive a little car like this, but just to see it here and to sit inside and understand just how different and how difficult it would have been to make this incredible journey. You've got to see this to believe it. It is an amazing little car, and as we know, it's on display in the National Museum
in Canberra.
in Canberra, the original car that did the journey. So there's not many of these around.
No, very few.
Where
now.
was this one restored?
This one was restored in the Riverland. There was a gentleman there by the name of Colin,
Yes.
who restores Chamberlain tractors.
Right, okay.
And he said to the Incredible Journey, "Send it over to me and I'll fix it up for you." And this is the fix-up that he's done. It's absolutely beautiful.
It is gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful car. And well, look, we really appreciate you
Thank you.
bringing it here to Tonsley. And hopefully we'll get a lot of people that come and have a look at this car and appreciate the amazing achievement behind it.
Yeah, thank you,
so
Colin.
much.
All the best.
Thank you.